Hello and welcome to the second day of competition of the Baku Grand Slam. Azerbaijan's capital city of Baku plays host to the IJF's second Grand Slam of the year. Located alongside the Bay of Baku, this ultra-modern, vibrant city is teeming with spectacular architecture. Known as the City of Winds, Baku is also renowned for its urban nightlife. Today we turn our attention to the middleweights, beginning with the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 63 kilo category. This features Nuria Akhtunova of Azerbaijan and her opponent Busra Katipoglu of Turkey. With commentary for this and all the rest of the afternoon's medal matches, it's a very warm welcome to former world champion Loretta Cusack-Doyle. A very good afternoon, Loretta.
Good afternoon, Sheldon, and yes, we're up for some very exciting final block matches. And what a way to start with the women's under 63s. Azerbaijan, well, this is one that's going to start this crowd to start engaging in this final block. And what nice to finish off with the first medal going to Azerbaijan.
It's a good warm-up for them because, you know, they've got great expectation for the men. We chatted briefly about the difference in levels. The tricky thing, I think, for Akhtunova this in this contest is she's come up against a really stiff opponent in Busra Katipoglu. I know she's coming back from an injury and a bit of a layoff, but Katipoglu is, you know, she's one of the better European females on the circuit, and I think it's going to be a little bit tricky.
Well,
for
this
the
weight
Azeri
category for Azerbaijan is obviously very strong. They've got 3 out of the 4 positions in the bronze medal finals. Here in the next bronze medal coming up, there's 2 Azerbaijan, so they're guaranteed a bronze medal in the next round. But it's just like you say, it's nice to see a little bit more depth coming through from the women. The men have dominated the judo here in Azerbaijan for a long, long time, and it is good to see these ladies now starting to show their worth as such at this level of tournament.
Katipoglu came in as the number 2 seed today. She had a semi-final against Andrea Leshki of Slovenia and came unstuck there, and then won her repechage contest to put her in the bronze medal match. There's a chance here if she can just free the leg to work around for really the Osaikomi.
Very powerful young lady there as she's driving on towards that head, but Katipoglu there did extremely well to get out of what was a very difficult position that she was in there in the Niwaza.
Well, at least that's one good sign. Akhtunova sensed that opportunity. It wasn't something that came and went begging. She actually had a bit of a dig at it, so maybe she's not as far off the pace as I originally expected, but Katipoglu yet to get into it. She picked up a penalty, as did
She's
Akhtunova.
there at that edge, just trying to look for that uchimata. And she has got a really good taitoshi that we've seen in the earlier stages of this contest. Katipoglu, 25. She's 1 year senior to her opponent. On paper is the stronger of the 2 athletes.
Akhtunova picked up a penalty for that overly defensive posture. Shame really, because it's now put her in a difficult position. A little under 2 minutes left to go. You can't afford a single error, and there's quite a lot of time left on the clock. And given the way that she's bent over here.
Well, what you've got there is that left controlling arm there of Katipoglu. She comes round the back. It's doing a lot of work there. She's got the ashiwazas that you could see. She was very close. The uchimata. She was also the strength is that taitoshi, but the uchimata there, She stepped right across through there for an ippon, and that was an excellent finish.
Just stayed in there a little bit too long.
Just waited a little bit too long, yes.
You know that your opponent is strong in the hips there, and try and get away from that if you can. It's a big ask for a developing player. It just felt, coming into this that
both these judo nations for women are always strong athletes, physically strong and good condition. So they were really well matched as far as the condition and power of both athletes. And obviously Kataplugu just had that little bit more technical expertise and experience at this international level.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights, and then we'll move to the second of the bronze medal matches.
You can see she stepped in the hips, went across there to accelerate that technique. Just looked for the Uchimata, but that hip just slid right across, and the arm round the waist was enough to then accelerate the technique for ippon. Nice drive and well planted.
We come now to the second of the bronze medal contests in the under 63 kilo category. Gulsadaf Karimova of Azerbaijan faces teammate Kanim Husseinova. It's Karimova in the white judogi, Husseinova in blue.
Well, very evenly matched, as you can see. Not really very much international experience, and just an ippon between them. So this is going to be a very tough match. But what's nice to see is, like we said earlier on, the Azerbaijan's coming through at this level of tournament.
Vladimir Nutsabidze of Georgia is the referee in the middle for this one.
What's interesting, Karimova, here 26 years of age, back in 2012 in the under 78s, took the gold medal in a Grand Prix in Baku.
Yeah, she must have flirted with the heavier weight at some stage, because we've got her recorded as having competed at two heavier weights.
Yes.
One at 70 and one at 78. So perhaps when she arrived, she had a little bit more size, should I say? Just had a bit more weight on her at that time, and she's been able to cut it. Karimova we're talking about there. She's in the white judogi. Just have a look and see how she moves. I can't
well,
really...
she looks very light on her feet. Nice drop Sianagi straight in there, taking control of this contest.
Can't imagine what she would have looked like.
Very hard to imagine that, wasn't
78.
it? Because she actually still looks quite strong and big for 63s.
Anyway, good to her for having shed whatever weight it was she needed to get down to 63.
Yogoshi comes in there and just didn't have the confidence to follow through with the technique. Falling on her face, and her opponent now on her back, looking for the niwaza.
It could have been as little as 8 or as much as 16 kilos. Because if she was 71 kilos, then she would have fought under 78. So it could have been as little as that. She could have been really light for the
in between weight categories. Yes.
Or she could have been all the way up at 77.9. I doubt it, having come down to 63. She's probably just over the 70, maybe 72 or 73, and then decided, no, I don't like that. Come down to 70 and then work her way back down. That would have been the harder one.
Well, what you find with young athletes as well, they don't have the same training regime. It starts off very light, and then when they start becoming much more competitive, the work rate that's required at this level of competition, the weight tends to just fall off young athletes.
Husseinova was the athlete who picked up the single Shido. She came in there with that Koso Dagaki, just brought her opponent down onto her backside, couldn't finish off.
No, there was
with sufficient enough strength
it
to...
was just a real overreach for the Koso to get in and just do enough to get that, what would have been a koka.
Two and a half minutes left to go in this all Azeri head-to-head. No doubt they've done battle at the national championships as well. Probably have to train together. It's not a big women's squad, so I suspect that they know each other really well.
It always makes it difficult, especially when you're now fighting for a medal and you know exactly the weaknesses and strengths of each other.
I think it's harder when you're friends, isn't it? You know, let's say that you're on the team, but you really don't like your teammate, and you have to fight them. No problem. Let's go.
Well, second Judo now has been awarded here.
Tricky when you've been best mates, travelling partners, all sorts of things, and then you move into that person's weight category. Oh dear. So both fighters now with a Judo, minute 40 left to go.
Hussainova there has a really nice, strong left-handed high collar grip. She tucks that elbow in, looks very powerful of it, but is just waiting a little bit too long to follow through with the attack. Again, she throws that arm. It looks very strong and controlling there. But as you can see, the time that's wasted there, thinking about what she's going to do next. And then the hold has broken. Lovely drop Cianagi straight off the grip. So that's two very good attacks there.
Yeah, she shaped quite early on with that little low Cianagi.
Well, she's got that body shape there for the Cianagis that you would expect. Very powerful, a little bit shorter than her opponent.
Just getting pulled around a little bit
there. There is
Hussainova.
just dragging her down. She does look that little bit stronger as she now attempts the roll, and she's got that there. She's needs to make sure she ties up that head, controlling the upper part of the body first before trying to get the leg out.
Nice shot there from our cameraman. Again, I think it's the same cameraman as yesterday, because whoever it is, they absolutely know Judo. They know what to look at, because it went straight to the foot.
Yes.
And you want to know just how much of the foot there is. And if it's up by the knee, it's not coming out. If it's down by the ankle, there's a really good chance. So thank you for that. That was really good. That was a close one, because there wasn't a lot of the foot trapped.
No, it didn't waste too much time down there.
Lucky to get out of that. 2 penalties picked up by Karimova, but it's a positive score that's needed in normal time. 4 minutes we've got, and there's only 10 seconds left to go here. So this looks as though we're going to need a little bit of extra time.
Well,
we're not going to need any extra time.
It's taken the third Judo.
How unfortunate. She had the two nicer standing attacks.
Very strong attacks. They were
just couldn't shake off the passivity here and there.
It was the grip, the upper control, that the other one looked just that little bit stronger on the grips. But nevertheless, the two strong attacks was the drop Cianagis from Karimova. And so I'm a little bit surprised.
Hussainova also looks a little bit sharper as far as the experience, the mat craft. You know,
yes.
Just a little bit trickier to deal with. A couple more attacks from Kamirova would have kept her in it. They obviously know each other well, so a good handshake and a hug after the bow, of course. And Hussainova it is who takes the bronze medal. A good pick there from Loretta Cusack-Doyle in saying that it would be the Azeri who would win that one. Well done. Let's have a look at the highlights and we'll be back with the final. We come now to the final of the under 63 kilo category. Alice Schlesinger of Great Britain faces Andrea Leszki of Slovenia. It'll be Schlesinger in the white judogi, Leszki in blue, and Here is Loretta.
Well, Alice Slinger, 12th in the world ranking, as we've seen, to opponent Leski, 63. But this will be quite an interesting match because there's 8 years of a difference here in age. And so Alice most probably one of the most mature athletes in this weight category. And their opponent is African Open Championship this year, took the 2nd place, and the Junior European Championships last year, silver medal. So she's no stranger to being in a final, and even though she's 20 years of age, still a junior, has fought extremely well to get to this final, and she's got a cracking Uchimata that we saw in one of the earlier rounds. And Alice Schersling has been plagued with injury and illness for some time, and this is her first event back this year.
Both fighters are going to want something at opposite ends of the scale here. Schlesinger will want to finish it quickly, get it out of the way. Leschke will enjoy being out there, taking a bit of time. I'll give you my reasons for my thinking on that as well. Alice has got that kind of personality where she doesn't want to hang around. She's got a job to do. She just wants to get it done.
Yes.
You know, Leschke is accustomed to being on the mat for a long time. Likes a fight,
she's young
enjoys
as well,
a fight.
so she's got that condition, and she's young, and like young athletes, they can go and they've got that staying power, and they've got no fear. There's no fear pack as well. There's a lot to lose here. Alice took the gold medal here last year. Oh, lovely attack there, following it through Shiguruma.
The reason I say that is I'd spoken to the European, world and Olympic champion Tina Tursteniak about who was up and coming in Slovenia. Well, she should know because that's where she comes from, and you know, before her there was Oshka Zolna, now Tina Tursteniak. And I said, well, who have you got coming up? You know, might not have anybody. Said, oh yes, we have.
Sotomaka Komi here, very, very close. Well, she's really threatening here. Schlesinger looking the stronger of the two. Upon Sianagi, Osota, a nice combination. Again, working away in the Niwaza.
That's the difference, isn't it? You're going to see that from Schlesinger, able to put together 1, 2, maybe even 3 good, strong
she has a wider repertoire of judo techniques there, and there is a real, I think, physical maturity shown here in this match.
That's going to be the thing that Leschke's going to have to get past, get over, find out where the attacks are going to come from. Try to find out how to close them down in a very, very short space of time. You've got 4 minutes to work out a new opponent. You may have been on with them in the dojo and a bit of a practice. A little bit different in the middle here, up under the pressure of the clock as well. That was okay, Mamaki Komi from Leschke. First time that she's been through the Schlesinger defence.
First time she's got through that really strong left-hand grip that we've seen from Schlesinger.
Single Judo against Leschke at the moment, 1.5 minutes, or just over, left to go.
That arm goes over again, that left control, but this time it's not controlling enough, and a lovely hip throw in there
to counter the arm coming over. That's what we're talking about. So
she left it a little bit too loose to that high collar grip, which gave a great opportunity for Leschke to come through with the hips there.
Like chess,
nice
because
attack.
Now that Leschke knows what to do when the arm comes over, having done it, Schlesinger also knows what's coming.
Lovely Ashirosa there.
We're going to find out. It'll be one thing from Alice, one thing from
well, the arm lock is there, and it looks like she's applied it.
She's had to tap out. Yeah. Got trapped. The body got trapped. She couldn't move. And it was Schlesinger eventually on the ground.
Well, she'll be delighted with that performance. It's the first one back where she's been plagued, like I said, with injuries and sickness. And for her, you can see that sort of look of relief that it's all over and done with. It's a good one to start back and see how she sort of works from there towards the European Championships.
Alice's biggest enemy is her inability to believe herself. Not a single problem there. Moved nicely, worked well, did all of her stuff, but she's always questioning herself. She's got lovely judo.
She has got
nice
lovely judo.
movement, you know. But it's the knowledge of one thing. You know, I can really do this. And then sometimes when it doesn't happen, she begins to look at herself. Doesn't need to.
Got
nice judo.
There. I spoke to her in the warm-up area, and at the beginning I said, "Well, how are you going to? You're going to win this, aren't you, today?" And she went, "Well, I hope to perform and I hope to do well." And I says, "You have to be much more positive.
I'm going to smash it. No way out."
And if you feel like it, just say it, and it might be believable. Well, it was believable. She got the gold medal today, and she'll be delighted with that because that's some really valuable points gained in this tournament, which really does help for future events and seeding.
What's the bad little effort from Leszki? She's learning her craft. As you say, she's only 20, so...
Exactly. Silver medal in a senior Grand Slam. It's got to be an excellent result for that young lady.
Right, we've got the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 73 kilo category. What a matchup we've got here. Rustam Orozhov of Azerbaijan faces Lasha Shavdatoashvili of Georgia. It's Orozhov in the white judogi, Shavdatoashvili in blue. William Roske is the referee in the middle for this one. And here is Loretta.
Orozhov, number 1 in the world ranking, 25 years of age. He's got 99 wins under his belt, and as well as the Olympic silver in 2016 and current European champion. So Azerbaijan will be putting all their hopes on this bronze medal, but I'm sure they would have hoped it would have been in the final today.
It's really unfortunate for Orozhov. Two things here. One, he's at home, and all the pressure is on him. It'd been easier for him to be in the final. That would have done it for them. But he could lose a medal here. You know,
he's up a tough opponent here.
That's the number 2.
Yeah, which the 2 seed, and he got silver in Dusseldorf, 3 third in the Olympic Games, and 2nd in the European Championships. So he's been nipping away at his heels for a long time. So this is such a close match, but there's for Shavdatoashvili something to prove here today. See, this is a save. If Orozhov wins here, he saves a medal. Shavdatoashvili really, it's just personal between the two of them. He's got nothing to lose. It's not his crowd. He's not at home. The pressure's not him. He's beaten him once before, and so this is a sort of a bit of a revenge here. And what better and what sweeter revenge you could have is on home grounds.
Yeah, that's that again. That's it. That's point number 1. He came here. The crowd came here, paid their money. They've got their seats here. They want Orozhov with gold.
Definitely.
Okay, didn't happen. Hey, he's got to take bronze, hasn't he? You know, that's what they're thinking.
Well, you would expect, yeah.
I felt sorry for him when I saw him coming out. The weight of that expectation on him, and then the opponent that he had to face, Shavdatoashvili. Big ask, this one.
There's a nice attack.
Just lifted the leg. He didn't move in that direction.
He broke the balance it up quite nicely there, but just didn't follow through.
Yeah, I'll leave that.
I'll pocket that one for a little bit later when required.
And where was the leg then? Where was the leg then? You had the top half. If he'd done the same thing that he'd done before,
he would have been there.
Oh, that was such a good position. Really was. He hadn't planned it. That wasn't planned. It happened.
No, it was there, and he just didn't forward think.
Yeah. Shavdatoashvili was in danger there. 2 minutes. Where did that go?
I know, it's so quick, isn't it? And halfway through this match, there's no score, but it's such a tight, full match here. Either one of them could win this. Makikomi attempt there.
No top half.
Totally dismissed there.
Yeah.
It is a battle of the grips. Whoever gets that grip first and uses it, it'll be the winner. Well, it's a fight that keeps you on the edge of your seats, and you're wondering which way these athletes are going to fall.
Orozhov the aggressor, Shavdatuashvili always looking as though he can counter. That's where the balance is at the moment. No score, no penalties, a little over a minute left to go.
There's a lot of work that's been put into this match already, and these athletes will be feeling it. Orozhov likes the sort of space between him and his opponent. Is he circling action around?
I don't blame him.
And then Sharadashvili just wants to close in and really just lift under his opponent's centre of balance.
Right in the middle of that crowd shot a moment ago was Natik Bagirov. Haven't seen him for a few years.
Well, 40 seconds left in this contest. It feels like it's only just started the match. No Chigari there, Orozhov. Well, this is quite an intense match, really.
First time that both fighters have just taken the foot off the pedal. They both had a look at the clock. They think this is going to golden score, isn't it? Neither of them are going to attack now. We'll just wait until we get the reset, and then we'll go again. Oh, and he's decided to give it one little...
Just at that last split second.
Say one big effort right at the end. Bravery got the better of him, didn't he? He thought, no, I'm going, mate.
He was tempted. He was really tempted there. Orozhov really, he took the bait.
Yeah,
he took the bait a little bit.
Maybe he thought...
Sharadashvili, I think, fed him that. And that was a little dangerous situation there.
Yeah, maybe he thought, hey, Shavdatuashvili's waiting for golden score. I'll go now.
Possibly.
Ambush him.
It's hard to think what's going on in these guys' heads at this moment, but both battling away so evenly matched, and so much to gain from this win.
Super contest. No problems with this one going into golden score. Quite happy to see a little bit more of this.
Well, it's a real battle of grips now, and the pace is starting to change slightly, a little bit more physical.
It's the only time that he looks dangerous, when he decides to put the left hand a little bit further up. Orozhov, the difficulty with that is it opens that left
exactly,
part
and
of his body open. That's what Shavdatuashvili wants to get in close.
Orozhov looks like he's ready to pounce with that left hand with that hand over the top, as you can see. Now it's going underneath, so he's getting a slight leverage under his opponent, where before he was levering over the top and dragging down. Different scenario here, what he's trying to do. Oh, lovely switch there. He looked for the Kosotra and stepped across for the Tayatoshi. A nice combination there, and really did fool Sharadashvili.
Oh, problems for the Georgian here.
He's on the receiving end now. The Georgian is slowed down slightly, and Orozhov has actually stepped up to the next level. He seems lighter on his feet. Bouncing away there, and
yes! Does he come down on his side?
Sorry. Well,
we couldn't see
it nicely.
Yeah.
A lovely combination there, and he just persevered with that. Once again, he did that switch, came round the back, and literally climbed on top of his opponent.
I don't think that he's got Koso the Gaki down there as one of his favourite techniques.
No, he hasn't.
But he's threatened him a couple of times with that, and he just knocked the leg.
Kosoto was a lovely switch as a combination.
When we see the replay, you're going to see that's what knocks him. It's that kind of position. He just gives him that knock with the left leg, and then he starts to stumble. Shavdatuashvili almost recovers, but he's going down too quickly, and he ends up on his side. But it's that initial knock with the Kosotagaki that does it, I think. We'll have a look in the replay. Orozhov, with the save, takes the bronze medal.
Well,
Happy crowd, happy Orozhov.
Definitely, as you can see, well, there's a face of relief as well as joy.
He didn't look like that coming out.
Oh, he definitely didn't look like that in the warm-up, I can assure you. A man that looked on the edge in the warm-up area.
Just have a look at this when he gets him in trouble here. What is it that knocks him off balance? Tap, there you go.
And it was the upper body control. He had that where before the arm was going over the top. It actually went under the arm and it was wrapped around his back, and that was the control. But that was the change from the first 4 minutes to their golden score. He changed the tactics completely with the upper body control.
No problems with that. I know a few people are looking at it and thinking, was it a score? Was it? Zero problem with that.
No problem at all.
Tap that got him going. And then onto his back. No need to worry about. He's already on his way up.
All it was a switch from that right hand being up on the collar to the right hand being under the armpit.
Super contest.
Good change.
Really enjoyed that.
Lovely technique.
You know.
Well, they'll be doing a lot of celebrating tonight.
I think that we could be in for as much action in the next contest as we've just seen here. Shavdatuashvili and Orozhov gave us a terrific contest. What about the upcoming contest between Hidayet Hedarov of Azerbaijan and Ungvari Miklos of Hungary? It's Hedarov in the white judogi, Ungvari in blue.
Well, what a difference of maturity here. You've got Ungvari, who's 36 years of age. His opponent, Hedarov, is 19. He's still a pup. He's still in the juniors, but he's here in this final and he's going to give it his all. Hedarov, third in the Grand Slam in Paris, and is under 23 European champion, as well as the junior European champion last year. So Ungvari's not going to have this match easy, even though there's a lot of experience in this athlete. This is going to be a real test for him.
Temperament, if he can control it, is Hidarov's downfall at times. He gets a little bit overexcited. He hasn't yet learned how to calm his nerves sometimes, and if things begin to go, against him, he can get rattled. I hope that doesn't happen here, and we just get to see him, performing judo at its best. Be a bit petulant at times, can Hidarov.
The dummy getting spat out.
No, it's normally at the end. If he loses,
that's the sort of age. He's 19 years of age and the experience of fighting. But first, Shido goes to Ungvari there.
He's got an incredible physique. Hidarov, really, in good shape.
Well, Ungvari he's had some matches all the way to this bronze medal final, where his first match he almost lost it, so against Uzbekistan. So he had a real wide awakening where he got caught for a wazari in the first opening seconds in the first round. He's
gone again here.
And now he's dropped down here and.
He knows he's going to get a second penalty here. He took the long way round. He just felt a little bit of pressure from Hidarov, and then he ended up on his knees, and he's given Hidarov a little tap there on
there looks to be
the right
a
leg.
little bit of frustration here with Ungvari. Now this is where his strength is. This is where he comes into his own. He's one of the best down there in the Niwaza, and
he'll want a little bit longer than
he'll
that.
want so much more, and Hedarov knows that, and he'll stay off the ground. See, as you can see, he chases it and then you can see that body language just says it all. The Azerbaijan went straight off the mat for a mate.
Not
He wasn't
interested.
going to mess around down there at all. And this is where Ungvari wants it. He wants it in the Niwaza. I think he'll be able to cope with that pace down in the ground. At this moment, he's a little bit flustered and he's so frustrated he can't. But there's a lovely Koichigari there following through towards the Niwaza, and the refereeing call him mate. Well, Hedrov is really all over him. Really, these arms are all over the place. He's not allowing Ungvari to get in at one split second at all. Every time the battle is on with these grips, he's in first. That pace is just that little bit too fast for Ungvari to be comfortable with. Wants to slow it down, wants to start taking control, but he needs him down in that ground, and that's where he wants. Well, that face says it all, doesn't it? It was like,
you've been there.
Oh.
The
But
look.
this is it's like you've got this youngster nipping away at you, 19 years of age, you're 36, and you're thinking, will you just slow down? I can't keep up with this pace. Do you realise I'm an old man in this game?
That's
You
okay.
wait until I get you on the ground.
Yes.
But there's another Vazari. Now, but Ungavari's going to work on the ground. This is where he's dangerous. Straight away. Hedorov knows that, and he's away. No sooner is he's down, he's out of it. Oh, lovely attack there, right
Really was.
deep. Oh, Makakomi straight in. But as you can see, straight up out of that ground. He wasn't going to waste any time down there. Well, again, it's been an exciting match. Still 1 minute left, though, and the experience that Ungvari has, you can't write
He's
him
going
off
again.
yet. But he's just all over him, his arms and legs, and
It's Ungari's turn to try
Well-
on one side.
well, it's really intense here. You just know that Ungvari has got something. He's got that maturity in his judo. He's frustrated, yes, but he knows he can come back just as long as he can get hold of him. And this is the problem. He hasn't been able. Good awareness there on the ground, but this is the danger. And there he's.
Ooh, just
this
slipped,
is it. He's
just
got again.
slipped.
This is his opportunity now, and Ungavari's got so close.
Twice he
He's
slipped
got
off the head.
22 seconds to do it, can
Yeah,
he? He's
that's
got to
it
keep
now.
him. He's got to keep him there.
Yeah.
This is where he's got the chance.
Did he trap the leg just briefly? Oh, he's had to
He's
tap.
tapped,
Yeah.
yes. He's tapped.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he left it for 5 seconds to go. Well, it was a great, exciting match, but you always knew the danger was going to be the Niwaza. Always.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Fair play to him. What a brilliant match for Ungvari.
Terrific.
He did so well.
Appreciative
To
crowd
keep
as well. Not
going
a
back at him.
single boo. You know, you
No.
can get that sometimes, can't you, with the home crowd, but not here.
No, that
They
was
really appreciated
a
that.
great match. Oh, God,
Yeah,
nothing
he's
there.
gonna go
That's a
again. He's gonna
19-year-old for you. Gutted, absolutely. He was so close. 5 seconds, so close. And
It just seems to happen to him
devastation.
every week.
Absolute devastation.
I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. He'll come off the mat, the jacket will be off, and he'll storm out.
Oh,
Because it happens every week. Poor fellow. He gave everything.
oh
Absolutely
he
everything.
gave it all. And you know what? It's a well-deserving 5th place. He worked so hard, but Ungvari then is breathing.
He just wants to be the hero so badly, Hedarov. He wants the chairs that Orozhov and Safarov get, and, you know, he just wants to be part of that. He's off. Here comes the jacket. It's coming off. It's
Oh,
off
yes,
now. It's off.
The jacket's off and the dummy's spat out, and that's it. And he's going to cry in a corner. But just, you know what? That's what you want to see.
Yeah,
The
some
devastation.
passion, real
He
passion.
was so upset of losing. He wanted that so badly. He could taste it. He was so close to it, and he just slipped up at the end.
We were talking about the contest between Shavdatuashvili and Orozhov, and I looked down and said, hey, we've got Ungvari and Hidarov to follow that. What a pair. Terrific. We had two
Brilliant.
great contests, and the really lovely thing was the finish with the shimiwaza.
Yes.
That was terrific. Hidarov
Look
caught
at
in
that.
the Osai Komi first and then having to tap out there.
Yeah.
Terrific execution by an expert with experience. Loretta.
And he kept it in play as well. That was the concern, that he would go out with that play. Brilliant.
I mean, we can keep our fingers crossed because we've got quality. We've got quality in the final. This is the final
going
now.
to be
Nakaya Riki of Japan faces Gambata Odbaya of Mongolia. It's Nakaya in the white judogi, Gambata in blue. Here's Loretta again.
Right, well, again, I've been looking forward to this final. For me, this is going to be, I'm hoping it's going to be a really exciting match. Both these athletes have fought extremely well. They've given us so much excitement throughout the day, and I've just built myself up to really want to see the sort of the finale, the icing on the cake with this weight category.
Vincent Drouot of France is the referee in the middle for this one. Refereed in Rio. Did the Frenchman did a good job there. So we've got quality all the way round here. Even the referee's quality.
Well, it's great just to see them as they swagger in on the mat, composing themselves so well, but just really experienced athletes here. Double world champion Nakaya.
Gambata was really relaxed during the break. Mark Pickering, the IGF media manager, and myself, we were walking back into the venue and saw him. He gave us a nice big wave, a big smile. Happy-go-lucky chap.
What was surprising, what I felt, is that it was a nice, relaxing atmosphere, that warm-up area. It's one of the best warm-up areas I've seen. And the facilities there for them to relax and to prepare the way they should be able to prepare without the hustle bustle, and everything flows at the back there. And as you come into the stadium, for these athletes that really just want to focus and prepare themselves for the contest, it's effortless for them to get from A to B and to C being on the mat.
Makes all the difference.
Oh, it makes a
3 days
massive
with 3
difference.
days as well, because
Yeah.
you've just got enough competitors to just spread out. With enough room for them to work all problems there.
Gambata has got that beautiful uchimata that we've seen a couple of times in this competition. Nakayaya, he had a real battle with Ungvari in the semi-final, and that would have taken a bit out of him, but the Mongolian has had some really wonderful contests, very convincing wins. You can see the Mongolian with that left hand over there on the top of the collar, one of the strongest grips he's got, and from there he does that a combination, the koso to the uchimata. That's pure textbook style uchimata that he has. It's beautiful to watch. Nakaya, he's got a lovely Sianagi, we've seen that, and that's one thing the Mongolian's got to watch as he throws that arm over the drop sioi. Well, both these athletes really sizing each other up here in the grips. Neither one wants to make that first sacrifice.
Second penalty picked up by Nakaya, and no panic.
No, he's
No
been like
panic.
this throughout the day.
Yeah,
He's picked
yeah.
up the penalties, and it's not phased him at all throughout the contest. And he just seems to, the last seconds of a contest, he seems to pull it back.
I think it suits his style, this relaxed look at the clock, almost getting caught there.
Yeah, he
Well,
came
he
in
does.
for that drop, and
Gets turned and pulled down.
pure upper body
Yeah.
control dragged him back for the score.
Well, now we're going to see something, because he has to change gear. Up until this point, he could have continued.
For
You know.
me, he's been like this throughout,
Yeah,
and he's never
yeah.
had to change gear.
Yeah.
Can he do it in the final? That's the problem. He's not been tested that much throughout the day, but this is a tough match he's up against.
Doesn't look as good in slow motion, but he gets scored there. Let's have a look and see what it is that Mr.
He looks like he's
Drew,
got a
the
bit
referee,
of a cut
he
on his
just-
neck.
Yeah,
So, the,
got cut there.
so he rotates under to look for the Cianagi, but well anticipated by the Mongolian, who pulls him back, breaks his balance, and then follows it through, planting him on the ground.
Problems for Nakaya Riki. Yesterday we were talking about what a break does for a fighter. Well, we'll find out now. Who's it gonna advantage, if anyone?
Well, possibly Nakaya, because I think he really has to start composing himself now and thinking what's the next strategy for him. How is he going to change the dynamics of this contest? He's got 22 seconds to go, and he's a Wazari down, and he's up against Gambata, who's actually a very strong athlete, who's got some beautiful techniques, and one of those being that Uchimata that we've seen quite a few times today, that's been very effective. And he's got a drop Cianagi there, that's again a wonderful attack. But now the Japanese has got to come. He's going to start coming on forward to him, which is going to suit Gambata.
Unfortunately, time ran out. They were happy during the lunch break, and they're happy now. Gambata Odbaya overcomes Nakaya Riki in the final of the under 73 kilo category. Wasn't as explosive.
It wasn't, yeah.
With the two contests before, or as gripping, I think.
No,
it wasn't
yeah.
as gripping. And Nakaya is constantly holding his right elbow. It's possible that he came into the contest
With an injury.
with a bit of an injury there. I'm not going to say that was the only reason, but you know, nothing happened in that contest that
It
would
wasn't a
suggest,
surprise
yeah.
win. For me,
He hadn't
the way
been all
both,
today.
he hasn't been firing on all,
Yeah.
I would say firing on all
Agreed.
cylinders. He hasn't been that sort of the world-class double world champion that
Yeah.
we know and have seen many a time. And Gambata, for me, it's been his day. He's had some outstanding fights.
Right, we are going to look at some highlights here, and then we're going to have the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 63 kilo category. Some Mongolian music to
Yes.
serenade us whilst we're waiting for the 4 medal winners to get lined up. Right, they're all down there now. Let's go down to the far end of the competition hall and have a look at the first of the awarding ceremonies today. This is in the under 63 kilo category.
The medals presented by the President of the Judo Federation of Azerbaijan and President of SOGA, Mr. Roman Abdullayev. The bronze medalists are for Azerbaijan, Hanim Huseynova, and for Turkey, Gusha Katipoglu.
Bronze medals go to Hanim Husseinova of Azerbaijan and to Pusra Katapoglu of
Silver medalist
Turkey.
for Slovenia, Andrea Leški.
Silver medal goes to Andrea Leški of
And
Slovenia.
gold medalist for Great Britain, Alice Schlesinger.
The gold medal goes to Alice Schlesinger of Great Britain.
The prize money presented by
Looks so
Olympic
much
champion
more
and gold
relaxed
medal
now,
winner
just
Judo
the whole
Federation of
face
Azerbaijan, Mr. Nazim Huseynov.
looks happy. It's funny how that pressure or perceived pressure that some athletes have
Yes.
comes across on the face. You see it.
Well,
you know?
she did come in not really knowing how she was going to perform today.
Yeah.
She'd been plagued with, like we said, injuries and illnesses since the Olympic Games, and really she wasn't feeling 100% here today either, but said, I'm here and I've got to start sometime. Almost found herself coming to Baku and having to stay in the airport overnight because her visa was from the 10th and she arrived on the 9th. So all these sort of things of journeys to get here has been challenging for her, but it's all paid off.
Right, and now the national anthem of Great Britain.
Thank you very much.
Well, I must say it was nice to hear that national anthem.
I'm not. I was going to say. Well, I bet I may as well say it now because people will be wondering what it was that I was going to say. So I may as well say it. It's not often you hear it.
Bad man.
It's true. I mean, when was the last time we had a Grand Slam gold medal winner?
It's true. It is
There
true.
you
That's
go.
why it's
Well
it's
done,
just
Alice.
nice. Well done, Alice. I'm sure there's a song about that, isn't it?
Husseinova Katapoglu took the bronze medals, Leški the silver, and Schlesinger the gold medal. We come now to the under 70 kilo category. And the first of the bronze medal contests features Zera Bekatatsky of Kazakhstan. She faces Barbara Matic of Croatia.
Well, a lot of experience for Matic there, 50 wins under her belt comparing to her opponent with 2. So it'll be interesting to see how these two compete against each other. On paper, obviously, Barbara Matic has got to be the stronger of these two athletes coming in here today.
A nasty bruise, look at that.
She's been through the wars, hasn't she? Well,
Punch up.
2014 World Junior Champion.
Göbeğim'de 2013 yeni itmelerin dünya birinciliğinin galibi
Matic, obviously junior world champion.
Bektaskazi in the white judogi, Matic in blue. Well, I'm afraid to fall back to that position of saying that one of these fighters is just going to have a little bit too much for the other.
Well, yeah, on paper you would say that quite easily, but as we've seen in many of the contests here today, it's not been that an easy ride for a lot of these top seeds, and we've seen some top ones go out.
Yeah, those are the favourites who've come up like shocks almost. But there's just something about Matic and her approach to contests like these. Just get the feeling that this is not going to be one that's going to get past her.
No. Kazakhstan looks to be quite a strong athlete.
Yeah, Matic would just make it a little bit difficult for Matic with that attempted hit technique there.
Well, she's got a good block, and as soon as that hand comes in first, it's quite threatening for Matic there. First Judo, though, to the Kazakhstan.
Yeah, she doesn't want to get involved in that, does she? Real error there. To follow one Judo with another.
We're looking about that, just that last Judo there, and we talk about the new rules of the pushing or stepping. And there was a lovely Uchimata, and that just says it all, really. But that last Judo, to me, it looked more like a push rather than a step out. But the penalty went, obviously, to the Kazakhstan.
It can at times be a really fine line.
Fine line, that one, and it all depends on
there are a couple of things.
Body language of that.
I think there are a couple of things that would have indicated to the referee that it was Bektaskasi that was stepping out. Matic was attempting to get a grip.
Yes.
Bektaskasi was stepping back off that grip. There's nothing wrong with that when you've got the room. But the minute that you come to the edge, you have to move left or you have to move right. There is no more room for you to move back. You cannot avoid the grip by stepping backwards. Left or right, there's no problem. But as you step back, you've stepped off the area.
Well, she's already put herself in that vulnerable situation of being on the edge, and if you're going to walk close enough to it, then you've got to take the good and the bad with it. And
now to go with Loretta there is Matic helping the situation by forcing her out. You bet she is. She wants her to get out there.
Yes.
So she's not going to help her and say, oh, I won't pressure you. So there's a really, really thin line as to when the referee decides you've pushed your opponent out or you've forced out.
But that's a beautiful Uchimata. How deep on that grip there she has, and a hopping in and circling, and that sleeve grip, pulling.
This is a perfect example.
She pulls, hopped again, head starts to turn, and the arm comes around just at that pinnacle moment.
And we got a nice shot again. I bet that's the same cameraman, but really pulling underneath, we've got to see it. It's the way that hand works, and so many times you get lost and the hand goes down. End of technique. That going, being pulled, you're only going to go over. Right, that was the first of the bronze medal matches. We've got a second bronze medal match. We're getting a treat here. Let's have a look at Velida Mezadza of Azerbaijan. She faces Alexandra Samadzic of Bosnia-Herzegovina. It's Mezadza in the white judogi, Samadzic in blue. Wongo Chow is the referee in the middle for this one. He always looks happy, doesn't he?
He's actually a really good referee.
Yep.
He's a very good referee.
He always seems to have time. He never looks rushed when he makes a decision. And when there's a score or whatever, you think, that's Wazari. Why hasn't he given it? And then he does.
Yes.
and you even bow your head and say, oh, that's why he's the Olympic referee.
So you're not going to rush him at all.
Mezazda in the white judogi, Samadzic in blue.
Samadzic's there trying to get that sleeve grip away so she can throw that arm. She has the slight height advantage. She's desperately trying to get that sleeve grip. Azadav there just keeping the grips, obviously knows that is the danger, but quite frustrating for Samadic.
She's got a damaged elbow, Samadzic. She was having ice applied to it throughout the break. Had it all strapped up and it was dripping everywhere. All the ice was melting. She's really worked hard to establish herself in that weight category. You line up the number of fighters from Bosnia-Herzegovina that, you know,
great athletes. And that's it, that arm going across right deep into the Makukomi. That's what she was looking for. Trying to prize her opponent over.
Incredible judo region when you come to think of it. Slovenia, Serbia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Montenegro, Kosovo. They were all one at one time, weren't they?
Yeah.
Sort of old Yugoslavia. Well, all split and having to find their own ways.
Still a real community there that they do train with each other, and well, they need to because of the size of the country as well.
Samadzic on the board with a little over 2 minutes left to go.
Again, that right hand over the top. This time, Mazazda avoiding it by dropping on her knees, and she's got to be careful with that because she's already got one Shido and could be easily looking for another one.
Yeah, happy days for the women in Azerbaijan to have a home tournament where there hadn't been the greatest of entries, and they've managed to pick up some medals, or at least get, you know, in a there over she goes again.
Great Ouchigari. Well, she has that reach, she's got that height advantage, and she's each time that right hand that comes over the top, she's got the Uchimata, the Ouchigari, and she definitely uses the height to her advantage.
Nice and strong from Samadzic here.
It doesn't look like there's no chance of her opponent getting out of that. Heads down, she's tied that up very tightly, as you can see, and a great win there.
So despite the elbow injury, she's managed to come out of this one unscathed. You'll pick up a bronze medal. It's well worth her visit here.
Definitely. Yeah.
Points, bit of cash.
Well, each time the points are so valuable for them.
We haven't had a single dud.
They've
all been really good matches.
Judo today has been a lot stronger again. It's been much stronger than what it was yesterday, and it was a good performance yesterday, but today has been very special, I think.
Enjoyable final block, and we've still got the whole of the under 81 kilo category to come. Ivelo Ivanov, Otganbata, Uganbata, Ungvari Attila, Kohara Kenya, Rufat Ismailov and Said Monali. I mean, they're all up there. Here are the highlights of the second of the bronze medal contest in the under 70 kilo category. Stay with us, we'll bring you the final of the under 70 kilo category in a moment. And that final features Yuri Alver of Colombia. She's up against Elvisma Rodriguez, who is representing the International Judo Federation here. She's originally from Venezuela, but she's under our flag for the time being. Alver in the white judogi, Rodriguez in blue, and Loretta's going to give you the background on these two.
Well, Alvera, Olympic silver medalist in Rio, and as you can see on the board there were 60 wins by Ippon. Well, it's a young lady that can throw and throw quite big, as we've seen. But she's up against Elvisma Rodriguez. She's 20 years of age, and she's ranked 7th in the world. And she still has to get onto the podium today, but for me, she's had 4 times. She's been defeated by Alvera, but she'll be 20. She's obviously got real guts and determination, and that's shown throughout the day in this competition. And I don't think she'll be really phased in this final. I think she's someone that's quite determined to do well here. always the pressure that Alvira has got everything to do and prove, being the calibre of athlete. She's #1 seed in this competition. It was quite funny, travelling over to Baku, I was on the final flight with her and she was sitting directly behind me. She did nothing but talk the whole flight. So she's quite a chatty wee person, but a lovely attack there, and that shows you 60 wins, there's another 61 wins.
By Ippon.
By Ippon.
And the other thing is that's 4 for 4 now. Elvis Meyer hasn't got the, well, Alve's got a number. At the moment, it's 4 for 4.
Yes.
It's the first time that they've had to go head to head on the International Judo Federation Judo World Tour outside of Pan America, oddly enough.
Really, outside?
Yeah. She's beaten her at the Pan American Open in Buenos Aires, beaten her in Miami at the Grand Prix, and then beaten her at the Pan Am Championships in Havana. Okay, that wasn't one of ours, but at the Pan Am Championships. And here now, she tumbles again. Just too strong.
Well, is it 8,000 miles that she's had to travel? It's all been worth it. A gold medal today.
Yuri Alvear, if people were to write up, you know, their top 10 or top 20, you know, female competitive judoka, is not going to be in it. They're going to miss one of the most successful and attractive competitors in international women's judo, 3 times world champion. You can't take that away from her.
No.
That is a terrific effort. There's no, when she won in 2009 in Rotterdam, everyone was saying, oh, it's after Beijing, it's the year,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
the dead
They
year.
made excuses
No
for it.
way,
Yeah.
no way. Right, we come now to the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 73 kilo category. Medals are being presented. Now the bronze medals go first of all to Ungvari Miklos of Hungary, to Rustam Orozhov of Azerbaijan. The silver medal goes to Nakaya Riki of Japan. And the gold medal goes to Ganbata Odbaya of Mongolia.
Flowers presented by Vice President of the Judo Federation of Romania, Mr. Hamza Darigov.
Stay with us, we'll bring you more action when we have the medal matches in the under 81 kilo category. But right now, it's the national anthem of Mongolia. So, and say a big hello to everyone who might be watching in Mongolia.
Oh,
This must be evening there. You can say Oran Mint.
Boromint.
Yeah, for all the Mongolians.
Well, sure, they'll be delighted and celebrating to see that victory happen there.
Why not?
And well-deserved gold medal.
Right, the last then of the weight categories for today, the under 81 kilo category is coming up. Ungvarian Orozhov took bronze medals, Nakaya Ricky the silver, and Gambata Odbayar the gold medal. That was the 73 kilo category. The first of the bronze medal matches in the under 81 kilo category features Ivelo Ivanov of Bulgaria. And there's another Mongolian here. This time it's Otganbata Ruganbata. Ivanov in the white judogi, Otganbata in blue. Here is Loretta.
Well, this is another opportunity for Mongolia to take a medal. As you can see, very close matches. Mongolians have had some really good performances today, and it just feels like it's going to be their day for the results to go their way with a bronze medal possibly here. But Ivanov there, 22 years of age, got bronze medal in Düsseldorf just a fortnight ago. He's got 5 Grand Prix medals and 5 Grand Slam. And Otganbata there, 5 Grand Prix medals under his belt, so it'll be interesting to see. 22 years of age, Ivanov, and Otganbata, 29.
Flying high on the IJF world ranking list is Ivelo Ivanov, the Bulgarian.
Yeah, 22 in the ranking, so on paper would be the stronger of the 2 athletes. So second on the world ranking, Ivanov.
Could be problems for Otganbata if it goes to form.
Lovely drop Sianagi there, great start for the Bulgarian.
Otganbata is not even their number 1, if you think about it, really. Nyamsur Dagvasurin is their Mongolia's number 1 at this weight. Otganbata is getting a bit of a run out here in Baku. He's taking his chance. There's an opportunity to pick up a few points. Get some cash.
Get some cash. Well, this will give him a great opportunity to prove himself. A medal here today would make a massive difference in his positioning back in Mongolia. Bulgarian there.
So quickly into that.
Powerful, very quick on that.
Otganbata having to look in all kinds of directions.
Well, he doesn't know which way to sort of defend really at this moment. Ivanov has got that. He's got a great. He's very fast on that Tai Toshi, but as you can see, it switches it off to the side for the Oso Tagari as well. So there's a wonderful combination that comes from that, and he's so quick to react.
Penalty picked up by Otganbata. I'm not surprised. He's been having to defend so often. That wasn't the most clever of efforts from Ivanov. Just realised that it wasn't there and then decided, I'm in trouble here now. I've turned my back on him. What I want to do? Well, I'll just dive.
Well, surprising because he hasn't been under any pressure. So for him to do something like that was a bit silly, really. And to give away, that was 2 Shidos of 1 apiece now.
Yeah, just pushed it a little bit. Didn't need to.
Right from the beginning, he's dominated this match and he's put in some really nice attacks, very close to scoring.
Just slipped off that elbow and
he was
arm.
very lucky there, wasn't he? Otganbata really didn't capitalise on a great opportunity he had just given to him.
It was a good position. couldn't keep Ivanov where he wanted him, and he couldn't keep hold of the arm as well.
Surprising, I wasn't sure which way. I don't even think he knew which way he was going to go. Was he going to try and stand up and avoid, or was he going to engage in the groundwork? And he paused so long that he lost both sides.
A little over a minute left to go. Nothing in it apart from the penalty apiece that they picked up.
Oh, lovely Ashiwaza there. Oh, that was nice.
He just
needed the rotation, the upper body control. He needed the spin from the core. And he works away on that arm, and Ivanov there doing well to get off, but again, that was a very dangerous situation. Lovely Ashiwaza.
You've just got to look at the hands there. You know, there is no turn. He doesn't get anything on the top half of the body. Maybe it's just a flash with the foot, and all of a sudden Ivanov was going over, and then it was too late to bring the hands into play. He hadn't really thought about it. He does there.
That was lovely, but do you know what? That could have been a pawn.
And then I was just coming out my mouth about he hadn't used his hands. Look at the hands here.
The control there was so nice.
That takes him onto his back.
Straight onto his back.
Hey, he was lucky. He's lucky not to give up the full score here.
He was very lucky not to have that as called upon. I think it was accelerated because Ivanov was trying to do the Sutemi Waza, and I think that's why it looked so good. It flowed better.
Well, so much for the world number 2. Otman Batar's just seen him off. Take that, says the Mongolian. 33 on the world ranking list. He'll burn another Shido, but he won't worry about that.
Well, Otman Batar takes the bronze medal in the 81 kilos, and he does it in fashion, doesn't he? Really superb judo.
Nice. And a couple of
and you wouldn't have expected that right from the beginning. The way that contest started, Ivanov there really did dominate it all the way through until halfway. He just then started to nosedive.
Another medal for the Mongolian team. We see Gambold Kurlan on day 1 getting involved there and thereabouts with the medals. Can't quite remember now, but they had a nice team out here.
You can see the highlights on the screen.
Yeah, Gambold came up 7th, as did Dashtava Amatuvshin, so not quite the success that they had looked for on day 1, but today they've made up for that. They've taken a gold, and they've just taken the bronze medal here in the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 81 kilo category. Well, we've got a second bronze medal match coming up, and could be a family business.
Well, this is,
because we've already seen Ungvari Miklos take bronze in the under 73 kilo category. I wonder if his brother can follow him now. Ungvari Attila faces Kohara Kenya. It's Ungvari of Hungary in the white judogi, Kohara of Japan in blue. And here's Loretta.
Well, when you look at the wins there, 113, 1 to 5, and won by Ippon 70 to Kohara 1 Ippon. There's a lot of experience there, as you can see, and will that experience show out here today on the mat? Well, they're both here fighting for a bronze medal. Surprising enough, the way they both competed, I felt looking at right at the beginning that these two should have been in the final. For me, this was a final match.
Okay.
But there was a couple of surprises, a couple of hiccups along the way, and they find themselves now in the bronze medal.
Kohara got clattered by Ismailov, didn't he, with that Teiwaza? I think you and Dave were commentating on that one. And
then we've got the
Malay,
Iranian. He is so strong, and that's somebody to watch.
Okay,
He'll be in the final.
Coming up next against Ismailov. Ungvari in the white judogi, Kohara in blue. It's the second of the bronze medal matches in the under 81 kilo category.
Well, not only is the pressure here to trying for Ungavari to take the bronze medal, but also pressure that his brother's already won one. That's hard.
Motivation, isn't it?
Motivation to drive forward. But there is a lot of experience from the Hungarian. Kohara's had some outstanding performances throughout the day. Great Ashiwaza there, which is his real danger. He beat in the first round Santos, Brazil, then Papanashvili of Georgia, and just lost into Ismailov of Azerbaijan to get into that final. So he's had a real tough journey along there, but has fought. He's had an excellent performance. His Ashiwazas are working so well here as well, which is quite nice to see, and he's really unsettling Ungavari here.
Ungavari has the single Shido against him at the moment. Wouldn't worry too much about that. It's when you start piling up. One at this stage. Oh. Don't let it get out of hand then.
But like his brother, he's got some excellent niwaza, and that's always a danger when someone's so competent down in groundwork that you have to fear that when you're throwing, and knowing that the fact that while you actually have to throw big or throw and get out, it's one or the other when someone like Ungavari is on your back in the niwaza. Kohara really just trying to settle in and get that grip. He hasn't really got the grip that he's been comfortable with yet. He's shown quite a few Ashiwazas, and he's broke the balance of the Hungarian. But it's not managed, without the grip, he's not managed to follow through with the attack.
A little over 2 minutes left to go. Still the single Shido against Ungavari.
Oh, the jab comes around the back there, and he's working his way. That was a good attack. First time Kohara had any opportunity of finishing a throw. Lovely Ashiwaza again. Oh, yes! Well, he was showing all the time, right from the beginning. Those feet were just setting it up nicely. Every time the feet touch, he broke the balance, and there was just the Ashibara, beautiful technique.
Bronze medalist in blue for Japan.
Gümüş medal aygırı Gölge'de Japonya maçı.
Kohara, Kenya.
Wonderful finish to
This is
great
the first
match.
medal for Kohara, Kenya in a Grand Slam.
Bu il maçının Gölge'de götürdüğünde birinci medaldı.
You can see the highlights on the screen.
Fantastic throw, the Ashihara. Oh no, Barai took both feet. Just clipped the back leg.
There's only one way to go then. Once that other foot comes up,
Oh,
it's all
yes.
hands then. Got
Just
everything
that
right,
control.
didn't he?
Beautiful technique. Oh, lovely. Following it right into the Nivaza.
Flat on his back. Look at Neil just watching in the background.
Oh,
We just
yes.
missed his face because he'll be oozing over that one. He's right in front of him as well. Got the best seat in the house
I
there.
know, he's lucky,
Mr.
lucky man.
Adams.
Beautiful
Oh, you
technique.
see the smile on his face
Yes.
there? Oh. Bahara Kenya does the job. Well, that brings us nicely then to the final of the under 81 kilo category. And now the crowd can get into it. They've seen Orozhov, they've seen Hidarov. Now they're going to have a look at Rufat Ismailov of Azerbaijan. He faces Saeed Malayi of Iran. Ismailov in the white judogi, Malayi in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is little Mrs. Owano Akiko.
Well, the crowd have woken up here and they've obviously got a lot of support for this young man. Well, this is going to be a very exciting match. Ismailov from Azerbaijan, hoping to gain that gold medal and the title of Grand Slam here in Baku.
I've spoken to both the fighters earlier today. Ismailov, outside of judo, just because he was chatting with Orozhov, and it was by accident, but with Malay about another teammate. Really nice, two nice young men.
Malay, for me, this is one of the athletes that we've got to watch. He is just so strong, and his performance here today has been outstanding, and he is definitely one for the future that you're going to see in this position. Drops Sianagi there, lovely start. Ismailov there, and the crowd are up off their seats.
We're a few seats away from the doctor who travels with the Azeri team, and he was out of his chair as well. His plasters and bandages have rolled off his lap there. Packing his bag back up now.
Again, another drop, Sianagi. Malay there. Oh! Well, this is what we've seen before. Brilliant. So he took that sleeve, brought it with him, though, and still persevered with him.
Just hooks the leg in. That's the only thing that saves him. It makes it difficult for Malay to really launch. But he had the hands trapped completely.
And that's the danger for this Iranian. That Sodi he takes is very, very powerful.
There he goes again. Almost countered.
Got countered. He tried to come out. That was the mistake that he made. He lost his footing and then thought, well, I'm going to try and get out of that, and it nearly cost him. Then another drop. Sianagi there. Oh, this is starting to heat up in this arena now. Malay, as we've seen without Sodi, is very dangerous, but he nearly found himself on the receiving end of the counter, trying to come out of it.
2 minutes left to go. How much energy Ismailov has spent in that first half. Tries the little low left hip on Sianagi again. Loretta.
Yeah, he did that. So he's done a lot of work in the first 2 minutes of this contest. Oh.
He gets in there. Going to have to be very careful. He's not finding ways to block him.
No, and he's so powerful. This thing, and he's so explosive when he enters. He's very, very fast and can change direction so quickly. It does leave him at times very vulnerable. That's one thing, because he's just all in, and there was only one time that he did change to try and come out when he lost his footing. Kosota, and very strong, comes over the back there, deep grip, that left hand coming in deep. You can see the defensive move there. Ismailov there trying to keep his opponent's hips away.
He's going to have to come up with something more than a foot tap.
That head starting to go down.
That was a better effort.
Also to Gary, but it was a
bail now. He
weak
can
one.
bail. Watch the arm.
The arm got caught. Looked a bit uncomfortable there on the landing.
Once he'd put in the strong attack and he had an attack under his belt, he could bail out. And the clock is down to 58 seconds now.
Well, it's 58 and it's a lot to ask to hang on to this Wazari. Mole there coming over that left hand again, drawing onto that shoulder. Oh! So close. Ismailev there has got 40 seconds to hang on to that, and again drives through this time, taking the sleeve, he takes the lapel. Ismailov has got to just keep his opponent down tactically, looks up, sneaky look. That was the mistake, the referee could see that.
I mean, we're sitting here, we could be a mile away, you can see that coming. The minute that you don't look interested.
A Kochi got there from the Iranian. And he's still at him, he's still going for it. He's got that left hand high in the collar.
Break the left hand.
And he really needs to go for it now. He's got 12 seconds to go.
He can take another penalty here.
He can take that, but...
He's got to stop it now and give it. Well, he's not going to take it with 3 seconds to go. It wouldn't have mattered if it had been given earlier.
If it had been given a little bit earlier, you might have.
Because they would have had to have stopped it, walked back, broken up the time. He was going to take it, but you just get the feeling that, well, he didn't need to be as defensive as he was in the end.
And that could have cost him the match. It really could have. But he was lucky that the referee didn't penalise him a little bit earlier. But Ismailov takes the gold medal, and what a finish to what's been a superb day of judo, hasn't it?
Rufat Ismailov does what I suppose both Hidarov and Orozhov had been hoping to do. It doesn't matter to the crowd now, because they go home happy with a gold medal for Azerbaijan on day 2. Stay with us, we'll bring you the highlights from this one. Malay very sportingly, after the bow, gave a handshake, hug, raised his arm in the air. What a final block that was. That really was terrific. And Ismailov came up with the money contest in the end. That was the one that made the ticket price worth it.
Definitely. And an exciting match throughout, wasn't it?
Dear spectators, please stay with us until the end of the medal awarding ceremonies. Thank you for your cooperation.
Aziz tanrılar, canımlar, geçki ve içeren terasını, ülke vatanına verasın var ve idimançımızı tebrik etmeliyiz, ezemetliğimizi birlikte okumalıyız.
The awarding ceremony for women under 70
Right, we come now to the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 70 kilo category. The athletes are lined up and ready to receive their medals, and it will be Vladimir Barta, the head sport director of the International Judo Federation, to make the presentations. The first of the bronze medals goes to Alexandra Samadzic of Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Silver medalist for International Judo Federation, Elvis Rodriguez.
And the second goes to Barbara Matic of Croatia. Silver medal goes to Elvisma Rodriguez, representing the International Judo Federation.
Prize money presented by referee
The gold medal goes to Yuri Alver of Colombia.
Flowers presented by General Secretary of the Judo Federation of Azerbaijan, Mr. Elmar Babanli.
Vice President of the Azerbaijan Judo Federation is making the presentations of the floral tributes to Elmar Babanli. He's a high quality referee as well. Haven't seen him on the mat for a while. Busy with his vice presidential duties, I suppose.
Dear spectators, please rise for the national anthem of Colombia.
And now the national anthem of Colombia.
Thank you very much. Family picture with VIP and Judoka.
Now stay with us because we've got one more awarding ceremony to bring you. And whilst we're waiting for that to take place, we've got some highlights of this final block. Maybe even some of the action that happened earlier in the day. And whilst that's happening, I'm just going to ask Loretta Cusack-Doyle for her thoughts on some of the action that we saw in the final block. Anything that you can think of that you want to mention that stands out for you?
Well,
we had the four weight categories. Take your pick. Go for it.
Well, for me, I think the player of the day for me, even though he took the bronze medal, which is still an extreme brilliant performance, was Miklos Ungavari of Hungary. Outstanding performance, not only in statues, but Niwaza was exceptional. He really did put on a real judo display in his groundwork, and that's really nice to see that amount of Niwaza being done in a world-class event like a Grand Slam tournament. So for me, he was one of the best male competitors of the day. But obviously I was delighted for Alice Scherzinger taking her gold medal here today, especially after knowing the sort of the journey that she's taken to get to this tournament with the injuries and the illnesses since the Olympic Games. So for her, it was a nice sort of end to what's been a real struggle. And she wasn't on her best form today, but she persevered and got through to that gold medal. No surprises with the under-17 Yuri Alvera of Colombia. Again, outstanding performance and an exceptional final, well-deserved gold medalist. And that last 81 kilo final, well, what can you say about that? It's still there, it's still very exciting, and it was a great finish to what's been a really good day of judo overall. Rafat Ismailov of Azerbaijan, and I think that was not only a crowd pleaser, but it was just the icing on the cake for an overall great performance throughout.
Ismailov gave the crowd two absolutely fantastic moments. One when he came up with a big win in the final, but it was the semi-final when he threw Kohara for Ippon.
Oh, yes.
That really had the crowd just absolutely on their feet, and everybody you know, on this side, all the officials and people who really know about, you know, there were lots of coaches there, top-class referees. They all know about judo. They were all oozing over that particular technique. The tell you what, it was terrific, wasn't it? Right, I think they're ready with the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 81 kilo category, and we were just talking about Ismailov, and there he is, almost in the centre.
Presented by the referee director of the International Judo Federation, Mr. Neil Adams. Bronze
Neil
medal
Adams
star for
doing the
Japan, Kohara
medal
Kenya.
presentations. There he
For
is.
Mongolia, Otgonbata Kukanbata.
Right, the
Very smart.
bronze
indeed.
medals go to Otgunbata Ugunbata of Mongolia. Actually, it's Kohara Kenya to receive his first, and that's Otgunbata
Silver
Ugunbata there.
medals for Islamic Republic of Iran, Saeed Moai.
The silver medal goes to Saeed Molai
And the
of
gold medalist
Iran.
for Azerbaijan, Rufat Ismailov.
The gold medal goes to Rufat Ismailov of Azerbaijan.
The prize money presented by IT expert of the International Judo Federation, Mr. Sergio Shindic. Flowers presented by the Vice President of the Judo Federation of Azerbaijan, Mr. Stadi Stadigov.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Azerbaijan.
And now the national anthem of Azerbaijan.
Thank you very much.
Couldn't ask for anything
It was
better
a nice
to
finish, wasn't it?
wrap the day up, could you? A win for Rufat Ismailov in the under 81 kilo category, and it sends the crowd home happy with a gold medal for Azerbaijan. Well, we're going to be back tomorrow with the third and final day of competition. But from Loretta Kusakdal and myself, it's bye-bye from Baku.
Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
So one more time, congratulations to the all athletes, to the all medalists. Thank you, audience. Thank you, Baku. Tomorrow will be the last and the third day of Heydar Aliyev Grand Slam 2017 here in Baku. Thank you for supporting Judo.
Qalib və mükafatlar təbrik edirik. Sizlərə təşəkkürümüzü bildiririk. Özəlliklə Rüffəti təbrik edirik. Azərbaycan komandası ilk qızıl medal